Hello. Today I'd like to talk about the power of gratitude. I'll introduce the concept of gratitude and the benefits of its use. I'll talk about the formula for success and happiness. I'll introduce strategies for overcoming common cognitive distortions and automatic negative thoughts. I'll introduce techniques to grow gratitude. We will practice a gratitude meditation. I'll show you how to develop more positive relationships. And I'll introduce techniques that are proven to grow gratitude, such as the gratitude diary, the gratitude visit, and the gratitude meditation, among others. And first, I'd like to introduce the power of gratitude, and it really is powerful, as you'll see. A really important statistic to know about is that if I know everything about your external world, what your gender, what kind of car you drive, the amount of money you have, where you grew up, the climate you grew up in, the climate you live in, I can only predict 10% of your long-term happiness. Just 10%. 90% of your long-term happiness is dictated by how you view the world, your perception. This is fantastic news for us because we're not always in control over our circumstances, but we can take control over how we view them, and we can shift our perception. There are tribes in the Amazon that rejoice when a loved one dies because they truly believe that that person has gone to a better place. So what we would deem as the most grave of circumstances, they rejoice about because of how they perceive it. In addition, sometimes when people come back from war or traumatic events, they get PTSD instead of PTSD. And that's post-traumatic stress growth. They grow and they develop from their traumatic experience because of how they perceive it. They see it as an opportunity to learn from and grow from it. Gratitude has been cited as the most powerful way known to shift our perspective to the positive. But why should we feel positive about being positive? Happy people are healthier, more socially engaged, and are more successful, and the causal relationship runs both ways. In other words, if you're more socially engaged and have better relationships, you're going to be more happy, and if you're happier, you're going to have deeper relationships too. And now I'd like to introduce you to the formula for success and happiness. I'm sure we'd all like to know this formula. Most people and companies and schools follow the formula that if I work harder, then I'll be more successful and then I'll be more happy. Then, it's all in the future. And the problem is it's scientifically flawed. If success equals happiness, then every time someone gets a raise or is successful in an exam, then they'd be happy ever after. And we all know through experience that that's not the case. If you do well in an exam, you've got to do better next time. If you hit your targets, you just push your targets up. And it's called the hedonic treadmill, where we adapt and revert back to our previous level of happiness quite quickly. Now, don't get me wrong, pushing yourself is necessary to see what you're capable of and to grow. The problem is where happiness is placed in the formula. If happiness is on the other side of success, which is a moving target, we're not going to get there for very long. Research demonstrates that when we learn to be happier in the moment, that is what will help us to be successful rather than the other way around. Because when we are happy in the moment, we experience what is called the happiness advantage. We are more creative, we are more energetic, we're more productive, we're more intelligent, and it improves our performance. Optimistic salespeople outsell their pessimistic counterparts by 56%, for example. And you can become more positive and reap these benefits with the use of gratitude exercises, some of which can be done in as little as 2 minutes a day, which we'll get to. And what is gratitude? It's a deep appreciation for something or someone that produces longer lasting positivity. And Beattie has a nice quote that gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Now I'd like to tell you about the amazing benefits of gratitude. It opens the door to more relationships. People are more likely to want to be your friend, and it deepens current relationships when we express gratitude. It improves physical health. It improves psychological health. It enhances empathy and reduces aggression. It improves sleep quality. It improves self-esteem, which is an essential component of optimal performance. It increases mental strength. For years, research has shown gratitude not only to reduce stress and increase resilience, but it even plays a major role in overcoming trauma. So now we'll talk about some gratitude techniques. And the first one is to overcome negativity bias. Humans are born with negativity bias. We are more likely to acknowledge or remember a negative event. We are programmed to notice the negative. This has an evolutionary basis. It serves to protect us because our ancestors needed to be extra aware of dangers such as predators or poisonous mushrooms, etc. And although it serves to protect us in everyday life, it's not a pleasant way to live. And if unchecked, it can lead to anxiety and depression. So let's talk about some common cognitive distortions. And this is a negativity bias. So these are black and white ways of thinking and the tendency to see things as all or nothing or good or bad or right or wrong. Some people tend to think in extremes, and when traumatic events happen, they think that way even more. These extremes are known as cognitive distortions, and much work has been done to identify the more common ones or common cognitive distortions. Now let's talk about automatic negative thoughts, and these are common cognitive distortions. There's a connection between our mood and how we think. And automatic negative thoughts are negative thoughts that are automatic, and these impact our mood and therefore our behavior and therefore our results. So words and terms that help us to identify them are things like I must do this or that. That could be the sign of an external pressure. Always, that's an absolute and rarely true. I'm always late or something like that. Never, that's another absolute and rarely true. I'm never on time. Should, I should do this. Do you really want to? Is it another external pressure? I ought to, another form of should. So these words can be used to help us identify when we have automatic negative thoughts. So when you say them or think them, ask yourself if they are within the ants context. Test if they are by asking more. And questions to challenge ants and break them down are, is this really 100% true all of the time? You might find that it's not. Could I be jumping to conclusions? Is it helpful for me to maintain this view? And if it's not, we can replace it with one that serves you better. Is there another way to look at this situation? What is the evidence for this more positive viewpoint? So we can replace a negative belief or thought with one that serves you better. Because we are not our beliefs. We can challenge them and replace them. We don't have to live with them if they don't serve us. So now more on how to overcome negativity bias. We can practice gratitude. By this, we focus on things that go right every day instead of the things that go wrong. We focus on what you have rather than what you lack. And we can count our blessings. And now I'm going to introduce you to a really powerful method. This technique is proven to raise people's baseline level of happiness. People become happier and less depressed for at least 6 months from carrying it out for just 1 week. And you'll see the chart below. The black box is happiness for those that practice it, and the last one is after 6 months. So you'll see that happiness grows as time goes on. And after carrying it out for 10 weeks, people are up to 25% happier. And people who practice it are happier and more optimistic, better able to meet goals, exercise more, and even complain of fewer physical symptoms or illness. And it's called the Gratitude Journal, and it seems too simple to be as effective as it is. What you do is you reflect on and write down 3 to 5 things about the past 24 hours that you are grateful for. And you write down the reasons why these things are positive, so you really engage with it. And then feel the positive emotion that comes with it. And then do this once a day for a week, and then 1 to 3 times a week thereafter. Paying attention to what you're grateful for becomes easier as you practice it, and it rewires your brain for gratitude and happiness. The next technique is the gratitude visit or gratitude email. And this is one of the most powerful interventions for gratitude and happiness too. Think about a person who you are truly grateful to have in your life. Write a handwritten letter of gratitude to them. Visit them and read it out loud to them. And if it's during isolation, you can arrange a phone call or video chat instead, and your level of gratitude and happiness should skyrocket. People were happier for up to 3 months after doing this intervention. And a similar one with a similar idea is to do the gratitude email. All you need to do is spend 2 minutes and write out an email of praise or thanks or appreciation and send it to someone in your network. And you can keep doing this for different people. And you'll find that your personal and professional bonds increase. The next technique is to find the greater meaning in what you do. So identify the greater meaning in what you do by seeing the bigger picture and the contribution you make and the impact you bring based on that contribution. This leads to fulfillment and long-term happiness, and it even lengthens your life expectancy. The next technique is to improve deep relationships. Surround yourself with positive people. The depth of relationships is the #1 predictor of happiness. And if you express your gratitude to people, you will watch your relationships blossom. The next is to use gratitude prompts, such as a gratitude jar where you put in money to a jar and you can donate it afterwards. Bracelets to remind you to be grateful. Screensavers on your phone or laptop. A gratitude pebble where anytime you see it, you remind yourself to be grateful for the things in your life, or if it's in your pocket, anytime you touch off it in your pocket. Or schedule time to be grateful. Set timers in your phone or watch or calendars. Now let's talk about a really powerful intervention called the gratitude reflection or meditation. Gratitude meditation is a type of meditation that focuses on expressing gratitude for the things in your life. It's a simple way to meditate because at its core, all you have to do is just reflect on the people and things that you are grateful for. It rewires our brains and has significant, lasting, and immediate benefits. It improves health, relationships, and even motivation. Some people are afraid to be grateful because they think that they'll just let themselves off the hook, but it's shown to improve motivation and self-drive. So now I'm going to bring you through a quick meditation exercise. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back without judgment. Settle yourself into a relaxed posture. Take deep, calming breaths to relax and center. Let the in-breaths fill your stomach and feel your stomach gently rise. And when you breathe out, feel it gently lower. Let your awareness move to your immediate environment. All the things you can smell, taste, touch, see, hear. Say to yourself, for this, I am grateful. Now I'd invite you to close your eyes. Bring to mind those people in your life with whom you are close. Your friends, family, partner. Say to yourself, for this, I am grateful. Next, turn your attention onto yourself. You are a unique individual, blessed with imagination, the ability to communicate, to learn from the past and plan for the future, to overcome any pain you may be experiencing. Think of your strengths and positive qualities. Say to yourself, for this, I am grateful. Finally, rest in the realization that life is a precious gift. that you have been born into a period of prosperity, that you have the gift of health, relationships, a career. Think of the things that matter most to you. Say to yourself, for this, I am grateful. Now you can open your eyes and come back into the room. Gratitude, reflection, or meditation will rewire your brain for gratitude and happiness. So I'd recommend that you do this, or you find gratitude meditations on apps or YouTube and do them for at least 10 minutes a day, at least 4 days a week, to see the best results. And that brings us nicely to the end. So let's recap. We've spoken about the concept of gratitude and the benefits of its use. We have spoken about the formula for success and happiness. We've spoken about strategies as well for overcoming common cognitive distortions and killing ants. We've practiced a gratitude meditation. We've spoken about how to develop more positive relationships. And you've been introduced to unique tools and skills that are proven by research, such as the gratitude journal, the gratitude visit, finding greater meaning, building deeper relationships, using gratitude prompts, gratitude meditation. Thank you.